everybody. Welcome back. It's been a very long time coming. I'm aware. One thing about me is I am aware. It's self-aware, unfortunately. I look different. Probably my hair's different. I'm different. My life is different. Still in the same place. So, still at home, clearly. So, still trying to figure that one out. But a lot has gone on in the last months that I have not continued my podcast, which I'm very mad at myself about because this is something that I really was passionate about and I want to continue with that. And I think sometimes when life gets, other things become prioritized in your life, you start to forget that you were passionate about and things that you really cared about because other things start to take, precedence, which is not, it's not good. But everyone goes through it, so I'm giving myself grace on that. Not that you guys really care at all, but in case, I have had a few people ask me where the podcast was. So for those few people that have asked, hey, what's up? I did not forget about you guys, and I missed, honestly, just talking and letting my thoughts ramble. Honestly, it's been a long few months since you last heard from me, but without further ado, let's just get into episode 10. I'm going to keep myself accountable to make sure that I continuously keep posting after this and not just post and then just leave you guys a cliffhanger, because that's just not cool either. I just had something in my heart that was just telling me make an episode for the girlies, just a subject that I think a lot of girls struggle with, think about, and myself have gone through more than once. It's just an interesting thing to think. What today's topic is going to be on, from probably what you've read, is why a man wants a woman first, pursues them, all this stuff, and more times than not, the man will end up distancing himself from the woman. And it'll be kind of usually out of a sudden, leaving the girl with a lot of questions, what the fuck just happened? I feel that adds on to so much anxiety and social stigma for women. What's wrong with me? Comparing them to other women. Is it because of the way I look, the way I act? What did I do to turn him off in this way? And a lot of times as well, it happens fairly soon after the two of them end up hooking up, which is pretty shitty to say, but in reality, it really is true. And I've seen that in my own experience as well. And it just sucks, honestly. It just sucks at the end of the day. There's nothing I could really say to make it better in that situation other than to empathize with any woman that has gone through this or is currently going through this, because I've been there. And it leaves you wondering. It makes you honestly start to go crazy, because you're okay, I just brought down my barrier and was intimate with this person who really wanted me, tried super hard, took me out, put in effort, talked to me all the time. And then it's shortly after that, it's oh, things kind of shifted. Or, sometimes that's when they'll be oh, I just want to let you know, I don't want a relationship, or whatever the thing is that they want to say. And it's just interesting because, there definitely is science behind it as well, which a lot of people probably know this already, but if you don't, there is science behind it. So it's you're not crazy. And it is a thing where a lot of men have this within their testosterone, right? Something that makes them want to, I can't remember why I can't think of the word. It makes them want to go after a woman and to, chase her. It's that chase that they just they want to earn something. They say oh, why are women assumingly prizes to men? Well, male brains, that's kind of how they think about it, because there's testosterone and dopamine is at their highest when they are wanting something that they haven't received yet. And they say, oh, guys, girls that haven't been with a lot of people or whatever, because it's that infatuation of oh, it's a challenge, right? Nobody could get with them because nobody was able to break that barrier of her, but I'm gonna do it. And then once they've done it, it's kind of oh, I've exceeded my expectations, my challenge is done, I've done what I wanted to do, and I'm done, I'm over it, kind of thing. And it's so shitty to think about, because what is it, the post-nut clarity and all the other shit they say when after a man is finished, it's like they start to like think like, oh, maybe like there wasn't actually a connection there, and maybe that was all I wanted, or maybe that was like, oh, like I'm just happy that I got to do that, and now it's like I can move forward with my life. And it's, you think about that, these are people's lives and people's emotional well-beings that these men are just holding in their hands and just like throwing away. And it sucks. It really does suck. That's all I can say to women. Like I said, is it just freaking sucks. And I don't understand why our bodies were wired that way that they were in men, and why our emotional capacity is just way different. I don't understand. But I wanted to explain that there's so much more behind it, like even chemically and both emotionally, than people might think. Like I said, a lot of us will take it personally, and it's like, oh, what's wrong with me, or why am I not good enough? Or I feel like we give men a lot of grace, to be honest, and I feel like we justify their behaviors a lot for things like this. And at the end of the day, it's just kind of like, no, like that was just a shitty thing to do, and that's it, period. And I'm not saying women can't do the same thing back to men. Women can hurt men too, 100%. But this is just something that's just been it's been a very ongoing thing in society that's gotten worse over time. And it's hurt a lot of women in the way of thinking, like not wanting to break that barrier down ever, and being scared of ever being vulnerable and intimate with a man, because they're in that fear that they're going to leave right afterwards, or they're going to be less interested afterwards, or whatever it may be. They'll stop chasing them, they'll stop trying, they'll stop putting in effort. That does happen. So it's completely fair for us women to have that mindset now of that's how it's going to be. Women, we analyze everything, right? We analyze the before the situation, we analyze during the situation, we analyze after the situation. Men don't really think those many things. They're very logical people, right? They think this to now, like this is black and white, this is what it is, this is how I feel right now, and whatever. Us long term are thinking, how is this going to affect us long term? Things like that. So I think, unfortunately, I wish we could just make a man the way that they're just supposed to already be like that and know how we think. But unfortunately, they're just not built like that. And that sucks. But I am firmly believing in my heart that there is somebody out there for everybody that will treat them with that kind of respect and love, and make them feel even more validated and special and wholesome after sharing that with them. Or even if they don't even end up like sharing any sexual intimacy with one another, just like it's such like an ego thing with guys. Like, what is this whole ego thing that's going on with men? I don't understand it. It's not that deep. If you think, hey, like maybe this isn't somebody I see a future with, just being honest and communicating those, it's literally not that hard. But just having the whole ego thing of just like dropping women and not saying anything about it, or like these guys will just like unadd girls or just never ghost them, or this whole whatever that thing is, like that is so childish, and it's so degrading to a woman, especially if she has shared herself emotionally, physically, intimately, whatever it is. Like I don't think they understand the severity of the hurt that they can do, and the, you know, and like I said, we've all been through it. I could give you guys my own stories and scenarios of this because I have some for sure, but like I know we've all been through it. So or if you haven't, you probably will go through it once in your life. Unfortunately, it just sucks. It's learning, it's dating, it's life, it's just growing up. And I'm 23, and the men at 23 are not much different, unfortunately, from the men at 17, 16. It takes a long time for a man to mature in all the ways that women mature. And I'm not saying justifying like, oh, women are better than men, we don't need men. Like, that's not what I'm saying, okay? Because I do want to be with a man. I want to be loved in a way that like they see in the movies. It might not be real. Might be. I don't know. I don't know what's real and what's not these days. I don't even know what's real and what's not with people, what men say, because it's so, I don't know, that throws me on a tangent. Just the wildest things. Men say the wildest things and do the wildest things that leaves a woman just so confused, because they act one way one day and then they act completely different the next. And it's literally like a majority of men. Like, it's not like there's this one weird guy. Like, it's just like all of them at some point will be like this. And it's just funny because they say that women are so intricate and they're so simple. Men are so simple. Women are so complicated and da-da-da-da-da. They can never be pleased. They can never be, nothing's ever good enough for them. No, actually, consistency is all we really ask for. It's literally consistency. And the hardest thing for a man to do is be consistent. Is that so hard to grasp from a male's perspective? It's really not that hard. Like, we ask for consistency, we ask for stability, we ask for protector, providers. Same with them. They want a nurturer. They want somebody as much as they say they don't want someone to tell them what to do, they want someone to tell them what to do. They want someone to be a mother. They want someone to be a wife. They want someone to know how to do everything around the house. They want someone to be independent, but they also want someone to rely on them. And it's like, we women have understood all those things that men want from us. And we work on that. I feel like, as all women, like, that we are putting ourselves on this high pedestal, and they put us on such a high pedestal, but they don't put themselves on the same pedestal at all. Like, the bar is in hell. It's in hell. And it's insane, because I know in my heart, because I have seen a few female figures in my life that showed me the opposite and showed me that they can do those things. So I know it's possible. It's crazy to say. I know. It might seem like voodoo. It might seem impossible, but it's not. They are out there. Like I said, a good man, I'm not saying, it's like a shitty, because it's not like, I don't want to say that they're bad men, but truly a good man, a good quality man that would never make you question your worth. They just won't. They will not ghost you. They will not drop you after you have sex with them. They will not move differently after you guys hook up. They will communicate with you. They will continuously try to continuing to date you every day until the end of time, because once you stop trying, it stops working. That's just kind of how I was taught growing up. They will communicate, like I said, they'll tell you if something's feeling different. They will, all these things. What's funny too is, like, a lot of men that I've heard, that I've talked to, have been like, oh yeah, we really do know what women want. We just don't do it. What? So you're meaning to tell me that this whole time, all throughout life, in all the ages, decades, us women have been trying to create these cheat codes and explain to you what we mean, and literally being so upfront about it too. It's not like they say we don't know what we don't mean. We say, no, we really do. And you're telling me now that you guys do understand and you do know and you just choose not to? Well, that's pretty sad. That's pretty sad, because like I said, I don't know about you. I was raised in a mostly girl home, but my standards, even for myself as a woman, would never be in that way. Like, my obligation as a partner is to listen to my partner, to get to know them, know their weaknesses, know their strengths, know their triggers, know what they love, know their love languages, know how they give love, know how they receive love. Do those things, learn these things about the person. And I'm not asking a million things from a man. I'm not asking financially the world, because a lot of women nowadays are in their girl boss era, which slay Miss Girl, being able to support themselves and just wanting a partner that is their other half of that. They care enough about them to get to know them, and they, care about their likes and their dislikes, and they remember them, and they protect them, and they know their triggers, and they don't they know what their traumas are, and they don't try and make anything worse, and they talk about their own shit that they come with, and they communicate about it, and they, talking about what they bring into the relationship, what could be harmful in the relationship, what they need to work towards, whatever. Like, that's really all a woman asks. And at the end of the day, you would think that a man would want to not, like, be single forever, or would not want to just, like, keep messing around and want to settle down and find somebody like that. But it's like this ego thing. It's like blocking them from being able to do that and allowing them to do that. Like, I already pursued her. I got her. I was Eenie, and I've achieved my prize, and I'm good. I'm good. On to the next. Wait, but then after you've done that, now the girl's emotionally tied to you, and now we're just left feeling like trash. And that really sucks. Like, from a woman to woman, or even if a man is listening, because I know I have men that listen, that shit sucks. Like, it does. It really kills something inside of women. My best friend had even said to me, we were just talking about this today, which is like kind of what influenced me to want to just like start talking about it today. She was like, it's so interesting because men don't see sex the same way women do, which I think we've all been aware of that. Men just don't see sex as sex. It's not the way that it was intended to be. And the way that their dopamine and their oxytocin drops after they reach climax is a whole different way than when women's do, right? So their emotional side to it is not tied the way that ours is. And that's why there's so much disconnect between men and women in that way, especially afterwards, or, when you're laying there right afterwards. And a lot of times it'd be like, oh, women always want to talk afterwards. Well, yeah, because we get an epinephrine of caffeine boost, and our dopamine is released in a positive way of we feel like intimately closer with that person, never felt closer with them. A man, on the other hand, they lose all testosterone. Their dopamine is released it's repleted negatively. They're tired. They feel, they don't want anything to do with anything for a little bit. And sometimes men are able to combat those feelings, and for the woman, I'd say, and they do the self-care, or aftercare. A lot of men don't do aftercare, but some of those men that out there, I'm talking to you, please continue doing what you're doing, because we need to have more of you. Other men just, it's almost like, oh, like they're good if you leave afterwards. If you stay, it's like cool if you stay, it's cool if you leave. They just probably go to sleep. They don't really want to talk. Everything you say is just going to probably piss them off. Even if they don't say it, they're going to sound like it. And it's just like this big disconnect that happens right afterward. Our cup is no longer being filled. The intimacy is not being met. That vulnerability is feeling shaken. We don't feel that love. And men, it almost is like a turn off to them. Especially if there's not been an emotional, foundational relationship before this happens, built before the man. It's so easy for a man just to be like, deuces, like, I'm good, like, that was fun, that was super fun, see you again sometime. But like, they don't really, and women just we can't comprehend that, because we just don't, our bodies and our minds just don't work the same way. So moral of the story, and what I want to say is, nothing's wrong with you if you felt like this, or this has happened to you and you think it's your fault, or you think the man thinks of you like, oh, maybe you're bad at sex, or you weren't pretty enough, or you weren't smart enough, or you weren't good enough, or whatever the thoughts were that you were telling yourself. And 9 times out of 10, that's not what the case is. It's really not. It's their own shiz, their own ego, their own male body that's taken over that area, and they start to think about them within themselves. Oh my God. Hopefully, if enough men hear these things and we understand these things and we explain to them that we understand these things, that potentially they will be able to reflect on themselves. I know it's a crazy thing to say, and it might not happen, but never say never. And they can think about how their actions are affecting women, like, indefinitely. Or when we do get intimate with one another, that I'm aware of how I get afterwards, and being more conscious of that, and doing not those negative habits that might lead to toxicity or lack of relationships or unstable relationships. And just like the ego, like just throw the ego away. It's not that deep, okay? Like for you to like do that and still like a woman afterwards, it's not a bad thing. I don't know what else to say about that, really. I really don't. I just really wish men would just like, it's not that hard. Just be caring to a woman, like, and women don't take it so personally. Don't take it as such a jab to the heart or as like a never wanting to go back out there, put yourself out there with a man ever again. Because let me tell you, I'm in the dating pool right now and it's horrendous. The streets, horrendous. Standards, bar in hell. The bar is in hell. But I am keeping the mentality of I'm wanting to make myself into the best individual and woman for myself, so that when a man does come along in my life, and let's say a situation like that happens, or anything else in that sort of way, I will be so secure in myself, and hopefully you will too, that it's okay. Like, that's your shit. If you don't want to get to know me and you don't want to keep me around and you don't want to put effort into me and you want to keep your ego out there, you don't want to put your pride aside or whatever, then that's your loss. That's their loss at the end of the day. It's not your loss, you know? The right man will see that. He will see the woman you are, and he will see the potential and the beauty and all within and without, all of that. And he will never make you question your worth. He just won't. And that's it at the end of the day. And don't settle for any man until they are that man. Just don't. Literally don't. And men, don't not do that for a woman, because you just like we deserve love, you deserve love too. And a woman will give you all of them in all ways if you do these things for her. If you just are consistent and you're respectful and you're loving and just those things that we ask for as basic human needs, and commitment and communication, just all of the plethora of little things that all add up to this wonderful human connection that can be made. And not like I know everything at all, so, you know, but I'm glad I could at least give a little insight to the girlies on like more of like the science and some background knowledge of this subject, because I feel like in today's day this is a very prominent thing that happens, and it's just getting worse and worse as society goes on, and we need to like take a step back and remember like what the hell is going on. And men need to remember how their actions affect women and vice versa, but like we need to do better. All right, so men, let's lock in. All right, let's please. Anyways, thank you guys for listening, whoever came back to listen after the long while of my absence. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to try very hard. I'm going to be consistent, so either I'll see you next week or the week after, but I'm going to be bringing people on, and I'm going to make sure that I continue doing this for myself, because this is something that I am passionate about, and I need to make sure that I'm putting myself first, because I feel like I've just never done that in my life. And I feel like anytime other things come up in my life that I have to give energy towards, I put my own stuff on the back burner and give my energy towards others, and that's just not fair to me, and I'm not going to keep doing that forever. So I'm going to continue doing what makes me happy and helping out you guys as well, because I do feel like this is my purpose, as part of my purpose in this world. So thank you so much for tuning in. Please give it a like. Check it out on other platforms if you'd like. It's on YouTube. We got Spotify podcasts. We have Apple Podcasts. It's on Podbean. All the plethoras. Give it a like. Give it a share. Give it some love. Thank you so much, and I will see you soon.